Breaking, what was supposed to be a decisive election night in Canada has turned into a political and legal saga that's now gripping the entire nation. The 2025 federal election didn't just deliver an unexpected outcome, it triggered something far more chaotic, a sprawling, high-stakes recount battle that has cast doubt on the credibility of the results and placed Canadian democracy under intense scrutiny. At the center of it all, Mark Carney. The newly minted Liberal leader and former central banker was declared the victor, edging out Pierre Poilievre and the Conservative Party in what was described as a razor-thin win. But that announcement, one that should have marked a new chapter for the Liberals, has now become the opening act in a growing national controversy. How did it unfold? Going into the election, momentum appeared to be swinging hard toward the Conservatives. Polls showed rising support. Rallies were packed. The public mood seemed to suggest change was coming. And yet, when the ballots were tallied, Carney's Liberals were awarded a series of key ridings, many by margins so tight they could fit on a sticky note. Now, at least 11 ridings are undergoing full judicial recounts, with several more potentially on the way. In some cases, the numbers are staggering. In Newfoundland and Labrador, a single vote separated the top two candidates. In other areas, votes appear to have been miscounted, ballots misplaced, or procedures not followed properly. In Windsor-Tecumseh, the Liberals were initially ahead by 77 votes. After a recount, the seat flipped to the Conservatives by just 4. These are not just statistical anomalies. They are real-world discrepancies with real political consequences. Investigations have uncovered everything from mismatched voter rolls to improperly handled mail-in ballots. In Quebec, misfiled postal codes led to ballots being counted in the wrong writing. In British Columbia, the number of votes cast in some districts reportedly exceeded the number of registered voters, a detail now under formal review. Elections Canada has acknowledged irregularities, but maintains that the system remains trustworthy overall. That assurance, however, isn't landing well with many Canadians who are watching these developments with increasing unease. Because this isn't just about a handful of ridings. It's about trust. Trust in the process. Trust in the outcome. Trust in the people we elect to uphold the democratic system itself. And when that trust wavers, it doesn't matter whether the errors were intentional or accidental, what matters is that the system didn't perform as expected, and in a race this close, that's a serious problem. Pierre Poilievre hasn't stayed silent. While Carney has largely kept a low profile, Poilievre has taken to the streets, speaking directly with Canadians, hosting open forums, and demanding answers. His message is simple: how can the public be confident in the results when even the courts are questioning them? Within the Liberal camp, cracks are forming. Sources inside the party describe mounting tension, especially from MPs in recount-affected ridings who are now facing backlash from their own constituents. Some campaign officials are reportedly frustrated with how the situation is being handled. Others are beginning to ask a dangerous question, not just about the results, but about the leadership. Carney, who was positioned as the calm, experienced choice, is now navigating a storm of legitimacy, one he may not have been prepared for. His technocratic, data-driven approach might work in boardrooms and central banks, but in a political crisis, Canadians want someone who leads from the front, not someone who hides behind bureaucracy. And now, murmurs of a broader legitimacy crisis are growing. Could this spiral into a snap election? Could these recounts change the balance of power in Parliament? Could this moment force the country to consider serious electoral reform? Those questions are no longer theoretical. They're being discussed in courtrooms, caucus meetings, and living rooms across the country. For voters, this was supposed to be an election to bring clarity. Instead, it's raised more doubts than answers. With recounts still ongoing and legal challenges stacking up, the future of Canada's leadership is far from certain. And while the Liberal government continues to insist this is simply part of the democratic process, the truth is, this moment could define Canada's political future for years to come. One thing is clear: Canadians are watching closely. And they aren't going to accept silence or vague reassurances. They want answers. They want accountability. And most of all, they want a system that reflects the will of the people, accurately, transparently, and without question. The story isn't over. Far from it. As this unfolds, we'll keep bringing you the truth, no spin, no filters. This is Maple Flash.